Hi everybody, welcome. Chef Iverito here. Today I am going to fabricate a silk snapper. We put the snapper in the bass snapper grouper family, easily identifiable by looking at the gill plate. If you look at the gill plates, they almost look like a Hershey Kiss. If you think of that Hershey Kiss candy, rotate that 90 degrees on its side, you know it's either going to be a bass snapper, grouper, pike, or perch. So we see that it's kind of like a triangle, pyramid, etc. In order to fabricate these, it's best bring it to the edge of the table, and it's swimming to my cutting hand. I'm going to take my fillet knife and put it behind the pectoral fin and gill plate, rotate it at roughly a 45-degree angle to the spine, tuck it under the collarbone about 22 degrees, handles against the head. I'm going to draw the knife into the head. When it pops out and hits the table, I'm going to stick it in that hole, and I'm going to release right behind the pelvic fins. When holding the pelvic fin, I am going to rotate the fish gently away from me, and I need to cut down the dorsal fin. If you look at here, you'll see the dorsal fin bones go all the way to the spine, so I want to make sure I'm on top of them. Tuck those back so I don't stab myself, and shallowly cut from the head through the tail with your knife, the length of the blade. Run your fingernails in here, and you should feel all the dorsal ribs. If you feel that, go a little bit deeper, constantly checking your work for maximum yield until you hit the spine. Once you hit the spine, we're going to release the meat up out of the head, and at a 45-degree angle, much like a flounder, we're going to release the flesh off of the spine towards us, and then the first couple of cuts we're going to make will be like a flat cut on a flounder, flexing against the spine, laying my knife down flatly on the ventral ribs, and coming out through the anal fin. I'm going to expose my rib cage with my knife tip, then I'm going to stick the tip in the head, and I'm going to rotate my knife around the rib cage, much like I'm removing the chicken breast, and my fillet comes right off, leaving the rib cage behind. For side two, I'm going to swim this fish to my cutting hand, cut up into the head, cut behind the pelvic fins, releasing the fillet, and swim the fish towards me. The other side was swimming away from me because I needed the dorsal side. This time it's swimming towards me because cutting it away like that was challenging. You'll notice on side two the head's in the way, so I put my hand slightly outboard of the head, and I come up the shallow, up the dorsal ridge. You can see those bones moving because I'm on them. I'm pulling against them until I cut all the way to the spine. If I've reached the spine, release the meat out of the head, come from the tail, and I'm going to ride that spine at a 45-degree angle up into the head, exposing the other side, and I'm going to swim this fish towards 10 o'clock. I'm going to flex backwards against the spine and come out. Flex, sliding around a little, and come out. On side two, put my knife tip in the head, and I'm going to ride that rib cage right out, flexing backwards into the rib cage for maximum yield. There we have our silk snapper carcass. We'll put off to the side. This is a hard bone fish as opposed to soft bone fish. When we pull the pin bones, we have to locate the bloodline with a pair of tweezers right above the stomach cavity in the bloodline. You'll find these hard bones. Just pull them in the direction of the head and place them on your hand or out of the way so they don't fall back into the product and wind up in somebody's finished entree. When you pull all the pin bones out of both sides, we'll store the fish, flesh to flesh, and then store it. You'll notice on the silk snapper it has this beautiful yellowing in the dorsal side, this beautiful pink flesh. This is a lovely fish to cook skin on or make a Caribbean fish stew, a saute, a pan fry, etc. So there you have it, silk snapper.